Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Zalar Field here at Tiffin, Calvert, Senecas Field. Nate Mullins with you here on the call. You are tuned in to the broadcast presented by Xcaret Mexican Restaurant and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Once again, we are live here at Zalar Field, and it is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful day for baseball. Thanks for tuning in here with me on the pregame show. I want to take a moment and thank all of our sponsors for bringing you today's broadcast here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Clouse Electric, Feasel's Frame and Collision, MSD Sauce Company, 5-Star Maintenance, Culligan Water, Seitz Financial Services in Upper Sandusky, MJ Recruiters, and First National Bank of Sycamore. All proud sponsors with us right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We have a dynamite matchup here today as two SBC River rivals clash here, and the top two teams in the river do battle as Tiffin Calvert, with their 16-1 overall record, 9-0 league record, take on Gibsonburg at 16-3, 9-3 in SBC River play. And once again, it is a beautiful day for baseball. We originally had this scheduled to be broadcast. I think April 28th was the original date, but it got rained out. And when I heard last night after the softball game that they were having the remake tonight, I figured, well, what if I got nothing going on? Stop down here and call some baseball. It's a beautiful day. So we're getting it in today, folks, and we are excited to be here because this is one that I didn't really want to miss. Anytime these two teams do battle, it's something that you want to see. So once again, we got the first pitch coming up next by Feasel's Frame and Collision. Our keys to the game today brought to you by Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. But first, let's talk about this beautiful weather. And of course, to do that, we have to talk about our weather report. Now, the weather report, as always, is brought to you by your friends.
Introduce today's starting lineups
At Clouse Electric. Currently, it is sunny and 66 degrees, and it's going to stay that way throughout the entire broadcast. There's not a cloud in the sky, folks. And it is a beautiful, and I mean beautiful, day for baseball. We do have some pregame festivities here, and we'll get to those here in just a moment as we have the Tiffin Calvert Little League team being let out along with the starting lineup for Tiffin Calvert. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to give these kids the spotlight that they deserve.
Connor Moyer with Jack Van Dett. Hitting first or fifth, the first baseman, Cameron Moyer with Tyler Schenk. Hitting sixth, the pitcher, Blake Coleman with Samuel Saul. Hitting seventh, the left fielder, Harry Schultz with Peyton Pauly and Alexander Bears. Hitting eighth, our DH, Cash Lee, DHing for center fielder, Caden Otterbacher with Gabe Scholl and Michael Kirshner. Hitting ninth, second baseman, Logan Ritzler with Anthony Paulus and Andrew Herring. And now for the starters from Gibsonburg. Catching, Corey McKnight. Playing third, Chewy Rodriguez. Playing short, Nolan Hoover. In left field, Martin Meyerholtz. Playing second base, Gavin Rapp. Playing first base, Jake Hall. DHing, Nolan Patrick for the pitcher, Brady Hill. Playing right field, Thomas Hockenberry. And playing center field, Israel Lyman.
Well, there you have it, folks. There's your starting lineups for both teams. Tiffin Calvert on the field defensively first. But first, we're going to join the national anthem.
And honor those who have fought and continue to fight for those freedoms with the playing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. luck, gentlemen.
All right. So we are ready to go. National anthem has been played. Defense is on the field. And the starting lineups have been announced. We got the first pitch coming up next, brought to you by Feasel's Frame and Collision. And folks, let's talk about the keys to the game. Of course, the keys to the game brought to you by Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. Now we'll have to come back for this screen so we can play our keys to the game graphic, because Greggy did a great job with that. So, of course, we'll make sure we give him his props on that. But for today, you know, you've got two of the powerhouses in the SBC River. And I feel like for both of these teams, it's going to take mental toughness here today. But the key for Tiffin Calvert, you know, they've got to get out to an early lead and really settle in, especially behind sophomore Blake Coleman and what he brings on the mound. You know, he's a powerhouse. He's a power pitcher, and he likes to come after hitters early and often. If he can get ahead early in the count, I think that's key. For not to nibble too much, just get ahead of the hitters and try to get some strikeouts here today. For Gibsonburg, they really have got to find a way to get some runs on the board early, because if they can get ahead early, they can put them in a different mindset as far as, you know, they're not used to being behind, and they're going to have to play from behind if Gibsonburg gets out ahead. Now, that's something that might be key for this team. But I think, you know, for this Gibsonburg squad, you've got, let's see, Brady Hill on the mound. And I'm going to take a look at his stats right now, as I pulled those up before I started, but for some reason it's not showing me. Here we go. There we go. So Brady Hill on the season, 24 1/3 innings pitched. He's got a 2.01 ERA. He has 30 strikeouts. He's allowed 14 runs, 7 of those earned, and that is 18 hits, 9 walks. And he is 4-0 on the season, so he has been effective for him. Corey McKnight leading things off, the catcher. Take a look at his stats here. McKnight on the season, 44 at-bats, 12 hits. And the first pitch, once again, brought to you by Feasel's Frame and Collision, is in there for a strike. Second pitch, line to short or third, as Mason Johnson comes up with it and throws over to first for the first out. So a quick out for Blake Coleman. And that'll bring up, let's see here. Do I have his name on here? Yeah, Chuy Rodriguez. That went in there for a strike. Rodriguez playing third base today. That one just outside. 1-1 the count now on Rodriguez. On the season, he, let's see, 261 batting average for Rodriguez. That one outside, 2-1 the count now. As you look at Blake Coleman's stats on the season, 5-1 with a 1.12 ERA. That one in there for a strike. He's only allowed 4 earned runs all year. 18 hits in 25 innings pitched. Of course, these stats according to MrHiggins.net. Swing and a miss. Rodriguez goes down swinging. That's the second out here in the top of the first.
Now batting Nolan Hoover.
That'll bring up Nolan Hoover. That one grounded to third. Once again, Johnson comes up with it and throws over to first. And that's a 1-2-3 first inning for Blake Coleman. Nicely done there by the Calvert defense, as Mason Johnson has 2 putouts there.
No runs on no hits, no errors, and no one left on base.
And that'll bring up the Senecas offense here. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Tiffin Calvert. Nick Palm leading things off at shortstop. A.J. Shoemaker out of right field in the 2-hole. Mason Johnson, the third baseman in the 3-hole. Connor Moyer, catcher, batting cleanup. Cameron Moyer, first baseman, out of the 5-hole. Blake Coleman, the pitcher, out of the 6-hole. Harry Schultz, the left fielder, batting 7th. Cash Lee, the DH, batting 8th. And Logan Ritzler, the second baseman, batting 9th. That's your starting lineup for Tiffin Calvert. Once again, Nate Mullins on the call with you here today. Austin Rodriguez filling in on short notice. As once again, I decided last night, well, we should go ahead and do this game. This is a big game. And she was quick to say, absolutely. I want to be there anyway. So here we are. And excited to be here, absolutely. Like I said, this is one that we did not want to miss. And it's obviously a big game because we're not the only television media crew here today. Ooh. Might see this one later on the news, guys. Just a little, little heads up. This is a big deal. A lot of people here to see this one. As, like I said, 2 SBC River rivals. The top 2 teams in the SBC River clash here today at Zalar Field. And I just got to say, this young man who's strolling to the plate right now, I haven't got a chance to be. This is our first game since the updates here at the stadium. And I'll tell you, this young man did a phenomenal job with his senior project with the renovations down here. And, I mean, Calvert's got to be proud to have such a outstanding young man. And that first pitch in there for a strike. Once again, this the renovations that were made here, this is a beautiful place to begin with, but it just made things that much better. And that one outside, 1-1 the count now on Palm. Let's take a look at Nick Palm's stats on the season here, as he is batting .417. That's 48 at-bats, 20 hits. That one outside. The pitch. Outside once again, 3-1 the count now on Palm. The pitch. Swung on, hit to the shortstop. Gloves, throws to first, and they get the first out of the inning. So Palm works a good at-bat, but hits it hard right at the shortstop for the first out. That'll bring up A.J. Shoemaker. The right fielder. Shoemaker on the season batting .489. Hopefully these stats are updated. Boy, he hits that one well into center field. Center fielder on the run. It gets down. Shoemaker on the run. He's going to be in there standing with a leadoff double. A one-out double.
Now batting, Mason Johnson.
So that'll bring up Mason Johnson. .472 batting average. 53 at-bats, 25 hits. 7 dingers. And that one skied into left field. Shortstop misplays it and unable to make the catch, so Johnson aboard safely. Must have lost it in the sun there because it was kind of in no man's land, but it was playable for sure. He just was unable to make the play there. And that'll be runners on first and second now with 1 out. That'll bring up Connor Moyer. Moyer fouls that one off to the left. Ugh. I just now realized I left the car parked too close. That's awesome. Whoops. Well, fingers crossed. Hopefully everything's okay. Got good insurance. Nice swing and a miss there by Connor Moyer, but a nice pitch by Hill. Runners on first and second, one out here in the bottom of the first. That one skied straight to the shortstop. Didn't really have to move much to make the second out. That'll bring up Cam Moyer.
Now batting Cameron Moyer.
Cameron Moyer playing first base here today. And that pitch outside for a ball. Swing and a miss. Moyer grounds to third, gloves, throws to first for the final out here in the bottom of the first. 2 left on, but no damage done. We head to the top of the second, no score. Tiffin Calvert Field. We'll step aside, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
Federal Credit Union, your premier financial institution in Seneca County since 1952. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
You're watching right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
And we're back here, Tiffin Calvert Field. Nate Mullins on the call with you. Austin Rodriguez on the camera. No score, top of the second. Blake Coleman on for his second inning of work. He quickly worked through the top of the first. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up next for Gibsonburg. Martin Meyerholtz due up first.
Leading off the top of the second, Martin Meyerholtz.
Take a look at his stats here. Meyerholtz on the season, 405 hitter, 15 hits and 37 at-bats. First pitch inside, scoots him back a little bit. That one misses outside, 2-0. That one hits. Just hits the outside corner there. 2-1 the count on Meyerholtz. The 2-1 is hit to third. Johnson gloves and throws to first for the first out. So he's had 3 out of the 4 putouts here. The other one is a strikeout by Blake Coleman. So every time they've hit it right at Mason Johnson here today. First pitch in there for a strike to Gavin Rapp. Rapp on the season, 56 at-bats, 12 hits. That's good for a .214 batting average. Hits that one to the second baseman. Gloves and throws to first after he bobbles it, but still able to make the play. is the second baseman, Logan Ritzler. So he just kept it in front of him, knocked it down, calmly picked the ball up and threw it to first. That's the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Jake Hall. Hall, the first baseman, watches that one in there for a strike on the first pitch. Hall has 15 hits and 50 at-bats on the season. Good for a .300 average. 13 singles and 2 doubles. That one misses outside. 1-1 the count. Hits that one straight back up the middle. Palm gloves, throws to first, and they got him. What a play by Nick Palm. You want to talk about range? Woo-hoo. He showed it off there, folks. Let me tell you, that was beautiful. Let me see if I caught that in time. Go back and watch our replay cam. Oh, just missed it, folks. I tried. Let me tell you, I'm working on my wizard skills, but I'm still no Greggy. It is no damage done once again. No hits, no errors, nobody left on base. It is no score as we head to the bottom of the second here at Senecas Field. Nate Mullins on the call with you here today, and Austin Rodriguez on the camera. And she's been doing a great job taking pictures, so figured why not? You're going to be here anyway. Come on down here and run the camera for us. She does a great job with that as well. Once again, folks, we got a couple shout-outs to do here on the air today. We'll go ahead and get to one of those now, as Mike Schumacher passed this along to me. For all you Calvert faithful, make sure you get signed up. The 35th annual Tiffin Calvert Athletic Boosters Moletti Open Golf Scramble takes place Sunday, June 11th. Registration starts at 7:30 a.m. Cannons start at 8:30. Registration fee is $75 per player, includes 18 holes of golf and a cart, lunch, drink ticket, charity challenge, and also Carmi's barbecue catering, as well as prize and other things as well. There's going to be skins, mulligans, 50-50, all that good stuff. And, of course, on-course contests. Make sure you register. You can contact Brad Meyer by emailing him at bmeyer, that's MEIER, 218@yahoo.com. First pitch is hit by Coleman into left center field for a base hit, and he's on with a leadoff single.
Now batting left fielder Harrison Schultz.
Once again, get signed up for that golf outing, folks. There's still time, but it's filling up fast. That's at the Green Hills Golf Course in Clyde. You can also call 419-937-3119 for more information on how to get signed up. Hill on the mound for his second inning of work. And Schultz chops this one, and it's going to scoot foul as he chopped that one at the plate. And the grass wasn't quite long enough to slow it down before it scooted foul. So we'll come back and do it again. Runner down at first base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second. No score between the top two teams in the SBC River Division. That one hit off the plate. You can hear the thud. 0-2 is the count now on Harrison Schultz. That pitch outside. 1-2 the count. Schultz on the season, .200 batting average. That's 8 hits and 40 at-bats. Swung on and hit just foul, as he was a little bit ahead of that one. Righty-lefty matchup here. Blake Coleman down at first, gets a decent lead. The 1-2 fouled off. We'll do it again at 1-2. Cash Lee in the on-deck circle. Schultz hits this one well into center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. A good piece of hitting there by Harrison Schultz as he was down 0-2 in the count. Fouled off a couple of good pitches, stayed alive, and got one he liked, and laced it right to center field. So runners at first and second now, nobody down. And that'll bring up Cash Lee, the DH. So can I use this every time he comes up to bat? Am I allowed to do that, Cash Lee? Come on now. Because it's just cash money, right? Swung on and fouled back. Swung on, fouled back once again. That swung on and hit to short, but no play for the shortstop as he had to range pretty far to try to glove that one. If he would have tried to throw, he'd have been way off balance, and he wisely just decided, hey, I'd rather not throw this one away. Let's keep this one and try to at least keep it in the yard. So runners at all bases for Logan Ritzler. Playing second base here today. Ritzler watches that first one in the dirt for a ball. Just getting warmed up for postseason play. As all the draws have been announced for both baseball and softball. Head over to the OHSAA website if you want to take a look at who's playing who. Tiffin Calvert playing in that familiar region. A swing. No, he's just going to watch that one for a walk. So we're going to walk in a run. Game's first run is walked.
Now batting.
Logan Ritzler with a good eye there. I apologize. My eyes were down on that last pitch. So one run scores. And it is 1-0 Tiffin Calvert. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the second. And that'll bring up Nick Palm. I was trying to search the baseball tournament. I'll give you the matchups here. Palm watches that first pitch in there for a strike. Righty-lefty matchup here. That went inside. 1-1. That one clips the outside corner for a strike. There's Calvert in Region 13, playing in the Clyde sectional. Clyde District, I should say. Number 1 seed. As Palm hits that one over the head of the shortstop and into left center for a base hit. He's going to hold it first, but 2 runs will score, and they'll have runners at first and third. Still nobody out. It's now 3-0 Tiffin Calvert. And this is what they do to you, folks. This is why they are so tough to beat, because they don't make mistakes at the plate. They're so patient. They make you throw their pitch, and once you throw it, they know what to do with it. So Nick Palm. Two RBIs on that single. And it's now 3-0 Tiffin Calvert. A little mound visit there. We call those calls to the bullpen, even though there was no call made to the bullpen. A.J. Shoemaker at the plate. Watches that one in the dirt for a ball. That one low, and Palm is in there standing with a steal from first to second. I don't know how many he has, but he's got quite a few on the season. It says 18 here, so that would have been 19. As that one's inside. 3-0 the count now on Shoemaker. I always worry because I know, Jeff Moyer does a great job of keeping me updated on the actual stats of the team. But sometimes the SBC stats are not always up to date. That one bounces off of the plate and goes behind the backstop. So it goes out of play, so actually that will force in a run. So now it is 4-0 Tiffin Calvert.
Now batting, Mason.
I have yet to see that. That is a first. Goes off of the plate and behind the net and out of play. So now runner at third. Still nobody out for Mason Johnson as he watches that one in there for a strike. 4-0 Calvert. Connor Moyer in the on-deck circle. Runners at first and third, and Shoemaker off, and he's in there sliding at second base. No throw. So runners at second and third, still nobody out. And it's now 2-1 as that one misses outside. And the patient approach with this Calvert team just wears on teams as that one skied straight back and out of play. The pitch swung on and hit off the plate. Johnson with the hustle out of the box, but the throw is in time for the first out. One run will score, so you'll have a runner at third with one out for Connor Moyer. 5-0 Tiffin Calvert. Like I said, folks, this is how they wear on you. Before you know it, you look up and it's 5-0, and you're like, how did that happen? And Moyer tees off on that one, but it's right to the center fielder. Should be deep enough to score the run as Shoemaker tags, and he will score from third standing. It is now 6-0 Tiffin Calvert. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. That'll bring up Cameron Moyer. Connor gets credit for an RBI there on the sac fly. Cam says, hey, I want to hit this one a little farther than that one. That one misses outside. 1-0 the count. Nobody on. 2-0 the count. Three and 0 the count now on Moyer. You want to talk about Cam Moyer? He is patient at the plate. A .650 on base percentage on the season, leading the team aside from Connor Moyer, who has a .655. I think they're battling within their own clubhouse. And there he just worked his way on with a 2-out walk. And that is good for his 22nd walk of the season, according to the SBC stats. He also has 6 hit-by pitches on the season. So you add those 27 to his 32 at-bats, he's actually had 57, 58 plate appearances on the season coming into today. Coleman hits that one straight back up the middle for a base hit. And now runners at first and second with 2 outs. And the Senecas are not done.
Now batting Harrison Schultz.
That'll bring up Harrison Schultz. And the Senecas have batted their way back around the order here. Schultz hits that one well and right back up the middle. Base hit. And Cam Moyer is going to be waved home. And he will score from second base. And now runners at second and third with 2 outs for Cash Lee. 7-0 Tiffin Calvert. And we're going to have a mound visit here. And possibly a pitching change. And indeed, there will be a change on the mound as Brady Hill's day is done after just 1 2/3 innings. 7 runs. I'm not sure if they're all earned. There was a couple of errors, I believe, in the first frame of, or first half of this frame. Let me see here. I might be wrong on those errors, though. I'm not a scorer. I don't have a score sheet in front of me, so don't come after me, please. So let's see. On the mound, number 18. I have Gavin Rapp, senior. Gavin on the season, 12 innings pitched, 1.17 in ERA, giving up just 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 20 strikeouts in those 12 innings pitched. So he likes to come after you, and he likes to get those strikeouts. Just 4 walks, but 7 hits tells you he keeps the ball around the strike zone. And that one foul tipped into the catcher's glove for a strike. Cash Lee at the plate. Righty-righty matchup. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. And that one in there for a strike. It's probably the guy they go to when they need somebody to throw some strikes because, like I said, he's around the strike zone. That one just a little high there. Tried to get the hitter to chase. 1-2 the count. And Lee fouls that one back. We'll keep it right here at 1-2. Swung on, golfed just over the head of the second baseman. You want to talk about, I mean, he just blooped that one right out there. 2 runs will score, And the Senecas are not done here. It is a 9-run second inning here for Tiffin Calvert. Runner at first. Both runners there scored from second and third. That'll bring up Logan Ritzler. He hits that one into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. So Seneca's having a hit party here as it's back around to the top of the order, and Nick Palm at the plate now. Still 2 down. Bottom of the second, 9-0 Tiffin Calvert. Runners at first and second. Palm watches that one in there for a strike. Just a bit high on that one. 1-1 the count. The big righty, Gavin Rapp, fires that one in there for a strike. It's now 1-2 on Nick Palm. Palm hits that one to the shortstop, off his heel, and the runner will advance from third, and he scores. Cash Lee scores from third, and it is now 10-0 Tiffin Calvert. The runner's still at first and second. As I tell you what, these Senecas, they're so aggressive on the base paths. They put the pressure on the defense every time they're up to bat. That brings up A.J. Shoemaker, who watches that one in there for a ball. That one in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. That one misses. 2-1 on Shoemaker. Runners at first and second, bottom of the second. Shoemaker fouls that one back, evens the count at 2-2. That one off the plate. And it's a full count now on A.J. Shoemaker. Runners are off. And a strike 3 called. Shoemaker watches that one as it clips the outside corner for a strike. And Gavin Rapp gets him out of the jam. But the Senecas put 10 on the board here in the bottom of the second. It is 10-0 Tiffin Calvert. We head to the top of the third. Gibsonburg coming up to bat. Nate Mullins on the call with you here today. Austin Rodriguez on the cameras. Yeah, Lee, you're absolutely right. They are going to be a tough out in the tournament for sure. And Lee, I got to get you your shirt, man. I forgot to bring it with me, of course, today. It should be in my car. But, yeah, they did have 2 errors. There we go. Well, no, they had 1, and then he had the shortstop error to leave Palm on there in the bottom half. But, yeah. Next time we call a Calvert game, Lee, I will have your shirt. All right? Due up for Gibsonburg, the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Nolan Patrick, Thomas Hockenberry, and Israel Limon.
Leading off, Nolan Patrick.
Nolan Patrick leading off for Gibsonburg, the DH. for the pitcher here today. First pitch in there for a strike. And that one hit well, but right at the, no, not, I thought it was well off the bat, but it just kind of died and right to the second baseman. Sometimes it just makes a better sound off the bat than, because I thought it was hit pretty well. I thought it was going to go over the second baseman's head, but just kind of fluttered out and right into the second baseman's glove. Swing and a miss. As Thomas Hockenberry at the plate now. Swung on, hit into left field, but playable. And the left fielder squeezes it, Harrison Schultz, for the second out. That'll bring up Israel Limon. First pitch drops in there for a strike. Coleman set. The pitch swung on and hit into right field. It's going to drop, and he beats it out for the first hit of the ball game. But I'll tell you, that was he had to hustle out of the box to make that one. That'll bring up Corey McKnight. You know, when you talk about this Calvert team, you talk about the offense, and obviously that's been the selling point for everybody this year. That's what everybody talks about. You know, chicks dig the long ball, of course, obviously, but their pitching staff is just absolutely dominant this year. A 1.43 ERA for the staff. That's the entire staff. They've only given up 21 earned runs as a staff on the year, 148 strikeouts and 103 innings pitched for this staff. Of course, Blake Coleman leading the way at 5-1. Throw over to first, not in time. Mason Johnson, another big part of that, as he still has yet to give up an earned run on the year. That one misses inside. 1-1 the count. Runner down at first base. Top of the third. 2 down. The pitch from Coleman is high and inside. Makes it 2-1 on McKnight. The pitch swung on and hit into left field. This one's going to get down for a base hit, and the runner's going to have to stay at second base. So runners at first and second now with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Chuy Rodriguez. That one misses high and outside. Righty-lefty matchup here. Rodriguez, a freshman, playing third base here today. Outside for a ball. Runners at first and second, 2 down. Top of the third. The pitch, swing and a miss. Rodriguez took a good rip at it. The pitch from Coleman. High and outside. (3-1) is in there for a strike, and it's now a full count on Rodriguez. So runners will be off here with 2 outs. And that one hit into left field, and it'll get down for a base hit. Left fielder up and throwing to the plate. Throw is almost on line, but not in time and just a bit off. As the first run of the game for the Golden Bears will score. They'll have runners at first and second. It is now 10-1. Tiffin Calvert on top. Nice job in that at bat by Chewy Rodriguez, coming back, battling back, and getting that base hit to drive in a run. That'll bring up Nolan Hoover. And that one in there for a strike. And another one in there for a strike. That one just bends in there. Drop that one in a bucket right on the outside corner. The 0-2 up high. 1-2 now. Hoover, the shortstop here today. The 1-2 swung on, and this one's hit into foul territory, but should be playable. And Cam Moyer unable to make the play there as it just goes off of the heel of his glove. That was a tough play to make, as he was going over his shoulder to try to make that play into the sun. And we'll keep it right here at 1-2. Top of the third, 10-1 Tiffin Calvert. Runners at first and second. Nolan Hoover at the plate. The 1-2 swung on and missed. And that is a beautiful strike 3 there by Blake Coleman as he goes up high and takes the hitter out there. Gets out of the jam. Just 1 run scored. 2 left on. We head to the bottom of the third. It is 10-1 Tiffin Calvert. Step aside, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports. Five Star Maintenance, their mission is to exceed the expectations of their clients. If your commercial construction project needs immediate attention, their highly skilled team is ready to tackle even the most challenging jobs. Give them a call today at 419-443-0414.
You're watching right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
All right, and we're back here at Zip Zalar Field, home of the Tiffin Calvert Senecas. Nate Mullins on the call with you. Austin Rodriguez on the camera. Thanks for tuning in here with us on Heart of Ohio Sports. Today's broadcast presented by Xcaret Mexican Restaurant and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Let's take a moment and thank all of our sponsors for bringing you today's broadcast right here on the Pulse of the Buckeye State. Thanks to Your Legacy Federal Credit Union and Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Clouse Electric, Feasel's Frame and Collision, MST Sauce Company, 5 Star Maintenance, Culligan Water, Seitz Financial Services, MJ Recruiters, and First National Bank of Sycamore, all proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Mason Johnson leading things off for Tiffin Calvert here in the bottom of the third. 10-1 Tiffin Calvert. Johnson watches that one in the dirt. Gavin Rapp on for his second inning of work now. Came on at the bottom of the second with 2 outs. Surrendered the 2 runners left on, but did not give up any of his own. And that one misses outside. It's 3-1 now on Mason Johnson. And that one clips the outside corner. It is a full count now. Johnson hasn't seen a pitch yet he likes. And he hits that one to first. First baseman gloves and trots over to make the play for the first out of the inning.
Now batting, Connor Moyer.
That'll bring up Connor Moyer. Moyer, the catcher, batting cleanup here tonight. That first pitch in there for a strike. Moyer hits that one foul. That one scoots off the ground and into the net. The Super Moyer brothers. As Connor hits that one straight back up the middle for a base hit.
Now batting, Cameron Moyer.
And that'll bring up Cameron Moyer. They are patient, let me tell you. They're not going to swing at a pitch they don't like. Got a mound visit here. Maybe they want to talk about the approach here or possibly a pitching change. Yeah, there is going to be a pitching change as I believe, let's see, Chewy Rodriguez. I think that's who's going to come over from third base. Yeah. So you'll see Chewy Rodriguez, the freshman, coming in to relieve Hill and Rapp. I'm sorry. Rapp is the second pitcher. This will be his first appearance on the season. For the varsity club, anyway. Can't get enough of this Tiffin Calvert popcorn down here, I'm telling you. It's delicious. You got to find ways to sneak in bites without crunching in your guys' ears. Because when you're sitting down here where I'm at, it's like perfect spot where those smells just come right into your nose. And I've got a bag of it sitting right in front of me. It's just tempting. Tempting to just look at it, you know. Makes me want to just chow down on the whole bag, but you guys wouldn't appreciate that much at home. No ASMR broadcast today. Once again, Cam Moyer coming up to bat here for Tiffin Calvert. One out, bottom of the third. Runner down at first base. That's Connor Moyer. Swing and a miss. That one high. 1-1 the count on Moyer here. And that one in there for a strike. Now 1-2. Swing and a miss.
Now batting, Blake Coleman.
And Cam Moyer goes down swinging. That'll bring up Blake Coleman. Ten to 1, Tiffin Calvert, bottom of the third. Chewy Rodriguez fires that one in there for a strike to Blake Coleman. Connor Moyer down there at first base. And that one in the dirt. Catcher keeps it in front of him there. I haven't seen too many pass balls today from McKnight. It's partly because the Senecas doing a good job of putting it in play for the most part. As Coleman fouls that one off to the right and out of play. And that one misses high and outside. And that one is high. Full count. And Coleman watches that one as he draws a walk with 2 outs. So now runners at first and second.
Now hitting for the Senecas, number 11, Jacob Kidwell.
As Jacob Kidwell strolls to the plate with his Caillou walk-up music. And he check swing, fouls that one off to the right. Runners at first and second. The pitch is in there for a strike. 1-2 now on Kidwell. And that went off of his hand, but he took a swing at it. That one's going to sting a little bit. They're saying he didn't swing at it, and he's going to earn himself a free base there. Yeah, it made a nice little thud when it hit off his hand. So now bases are loaded with 2 outs.
Now batting for the Senecas, John Schumacher.
That'll bring up John Schumacher. And Schumacher watches that one for a ball. Fouls that one straight back. 1-1 the count. It's Jamison Godfrey in the on-deck circle. Bases loaded, bottom of the third. 2 down. Chuy Rodriguez fires that one in there for a strike. And it's now 2-2 on Schumacher. That one scoots away from the catcher, but not too far away as he keeps it within range. And everybody stays home. It's now a full count, 3-2 on John Schumacher. Schumacher hits that one. High, playable, into foul territory. Nobody makes the play. They run into each other. And that's going to be foul ball. So we'll come back and do it again at full count. Hopefully everybody's okay. That was a really good camera shot, Austin. I'm sorry I didn't get a replay on that, but we'll have to go back and clip that one because, man, that was a violent play. Hopefully everybody's okay. It seems like they are. Third baseman and catcher collided, but both are up and look like they're going to be all right. So we'll do it again, 3-2. Schumacher fouls that one off once again. This one's going to go out of play and off to the right. So he stays alive at 3-2. This is working on an 8-pitch at bat now. That's going to be high, and Schumacher works himself on board with a walk. And another run will score for Tiffin Calvert. It's now 11-1 here in the bottom of the third. You know, they're calling out, Peggy, you're right. I'm glad they're both okay as well. But that was something that, you know, was taught from day one in Little League, but it's always an issue all the way through baseball. You know, it's not just at the high school level. You see that at the professional level as well, you know. Just the lack of communication on those balls in the air. It's hard when it's in no man's land. Somebody has to call it, and it's just who's going to be the first one to call it. And you don't want to call it if you're not in the right area to make the play. So it's a judgment call on behalf of both players, and the third baseman thought he had a play at it. The catcher probably should have been the one to make the play, but the third baseman came charging in, thought he had a good play on it, but gladly they're both okay. And Jamison Godfrey watches strike 3. And that's the end of the third inning. They leave him stranded, but they do scratch across the run. It is 11-1, Tiffin Calvert over Gibsonburg. We'll head to the top of the fourth. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
1 hit, no errors, 3 runners left on base.
Clouse Electric is a veteran and family-owned full-service electrical contracting firm that has grown to be a first-class electrical contractor serving Northwest Ohio. Their mission is to provide high-quality commercial and industrial electrical projects in a timely manner. They do this by forming and training a professional team of employees who are dedicated to their core values, conscious of safe work practices, all while forming long-term relationships with their customers. Visit their website for more information at clouseelectric.com. You're watching right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
All right, and we're back here. Zalar Field, the home of the Tiffin Calvert Senecas. It is 11-1 Tiffin Calvert over Gibsonburg. We get ready to start the top of the fourth. And look at that. I didn't do my job in between innings. So you get to watch production as it happens. There we go, top of the fourth. Too busy eating popcorn. That's what happens. Take a moment and thank all of our sponsors for bringing you today's broadcast in high school baseball and softball all season long right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to Xcaret Mexican Restaurant and your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Clouse Electric, Feasel's Frame and Collision, MST Sauce Company, 5-Star Maintenance, Culligan Water, Seitz Financial Services, MJ Recruiters, and First National Bank of Sycamore. All proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports. That'll bring up Martin Meyerholtz. That evens the count at 1-1. Blake Coleman working on his fourth inning of work. That one hit to the shortstop. Palm gloves and throws to first for the first out.
Now batting Gavin Rapp.
There's not many. At the high school level, when you hit it to shortstop, it's not like they're all routine plays. Every time I see Nick Palm field from the shortstop position, he just makes it look routine. He makes it look easy. He's fun to watch. The whole team is. Very talented group this year. And that's coming off a state semifinal run last year. They all told me last year, they said, wait till next year. Just wait. They're not done. They're just getting started. And that one hit to the shortstop. It's going to be a slow roller. Bare hand throw by Palm. Boy, I tell you what a play by Palm to even try to make that play. But great hustle out of the box by the batter there as he's able to beat out the throw. Even if they would have made the play, he would have beat that throw. Outstanding hustle there by the batter. And now runner at first with one out. And that'll bring up Jake Hall. And that one gets away from the catcher. And Rapp will scamper on down to second base. So now the Golden Bears will have a runner in scoring position with one out. That one hit right to the third baseman, Mason Johnson, who throws to second for the double play. What an outstanding play there. Let's see if we caught that on the replay. Outstanding play by Mason Johnson. Now let's see. I think I got it. It's going to be up to whether we got the camera shot on it. Johnson with the throw to second, and you see right there they get the double play. And a nice job by that Calvert defense. All right. Nobody scores. It is 11-1 Tiffin Calvert. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Thanks for tuning in here with us on the broadcast. Today's broadcast presented by Xcaret Mexican Restaurant and your Legacy Federal Credit Union. And we talk about your Legacy. Folks, they are a member-driven financial cooperative and are delighted to provide a personal touch to an often impersonal industry with a focus on respect and member satisfaction while caring for your financial needs. They've been a part of this community for 70 years, folks. Stop in and see your Legacy located at 25 Schaefer Park Drive in Tiffin. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA. And when I talk about your legacy, you know, we've recently got, you know, my wife had to get a new vehicle as both of our vehicles decided within the same month that they were just done. They'd had enough. They were done with both of us. So, yeah, we both had to get new vehicles. Not like we wanted to, but we had to. And luckily enough, we do business with two fine financial institutions, including Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, who was gracious enough to provide us with the best, and I mean the best, financial rate that we could find. And they did some scouring. They looked all over. Reineke did a great job of really doing some digging and doing some research to try to find us the best available rate. And they went all around, and the best one they could find is right here in Tiffin. That's it, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. So, folks, I'm telling you, before you go out shopping, your best bet is just to go into Your Legacy, get pre-approved. You know, just tell them what you have, what you got in mind, your budget that you're looking for. They'll help you out. You walk into that dealership with that pre-approval in hand, it just makes things that much easier for you and your family. So, folks, head on over to Your Legacy Federal Credit Union and tell them Heart of Ohio Sports sent you. Leading off here in the bottom of the fourth, Nick Palm. First pitch outside as we're getting our first look on the mound at Nolan Patrick. Take a look at his numbers here. As Palm hits that one to the shortstop, gloves and throws and skips off the first baseman glove, and it gets away and all the way to the fence. So Palm will scamper onto second base. Runner at second base with nobody out. And that'll bring up Brody Cooper.
Now hitting for the Senecas, Brody Cooper.
So once again, Nolan Patrick on the mound for Gibsonburg, and this is also his first pitching appearance on the year. That one outside for a ball. Nolan Hoover is their ace on the year. He's 6-1 with a 0.99 ERA. They did pitch him a full 7 innings last night against Old Fort, so he is not eligible to pitch today. So that's why you're probably seeing the abundance of arms getting debuts here today. I completely agree, Peggy. The tall socks do it for me. Just looks like a ball player, you know? I swear, the long pants just look like pajamas. That's what the kids like. I'm a purist. And Brody Cooper earns himself a free bag here. As we now have runners at first and second with nobody out. That'll bring up Mason Johnson. Big Mason Johnson leading the way for Tiffin Calvert in just about every category offensively when it comes to slugging. I'm telling you, he's putting on a clinic this year. 472 batting average, 586 slugging, on base percentage, a 1,000 slugging percentage. That's right. You heard me right. 1,000 slugging percentage. That means every time he comes up to the plate, he's getting at least one base. Actually, 1.5 bases. I'm sorry. His OPS would indicate that. So 1.58 is his OPS. And that is well hit into center field. Back goes the center fielder, and he does make the play, but tagging and going to third is Nick Palm. And so now you have runners at first and third. Johnson gave it a ride, but just not quite long enough to get it out of here, as that's a pretty far distance to center field. Believe me, I know. I've tried to get a camera out there. That'll bring up Fabian Perez Ramirez. First pitch inside for a ball. And that one in there for a strike. Patrick with the pitch, and Fabian Ramirez fouls that one off. And a swing and a miss as Perez Ramirez goes down swinging. But he took a hack at it. And that'll bring up Cameron Moyer. And that one hits him. So that'll load the bases with one out. And that'll bring up Brad Shirk.
Brad Shirk.
That first pitch inside for a ball. Nolan Patrick on the mound. Brad Shirk at the plate. Runners at first, second, and third. And that one high. 2-0 the count on Shirk. And 2-1 now on Shirk. That went in there for a strike, so evens the count at 2-2. And that one gets away from the catcher. Palm is going to score from third. So once again, the pressure on the base paths pays off for Tiffin Calvert as they scratch across another run. It's now 12-1. And that is strike three called. Shirk goes down looking. And that is the end of the inning. But Calvert scratches across another run. It is now 12-1 as we head to the top of the fifth. Golden Bears need to get a couple runs here if they want to keep this one going. We'll be back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
Federal Credit Union, your premier financial institution in Seneca County since 1952. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
You're watching right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
All right, and we're back here at Tiffin Calvert Field, Zip Zalar Field, the home of the Tiffin Calvert Senecas. Nate Mullins on the call with you here today. Austin Rodriguez on the camera. Thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. 12-1, Tiffin Calvert on top of Gibsonburg. As we get ready to start the top of the fifth, A.J. Shoemaker on the mound for Tiffin Calvert. Take a look at his pitching stats on the year. 14 innings pitched, 2.0 ERA, 14 strikeouts, 5 hits, 9 walks given up, 3 hit batters. He is 2-0, just 4 earned runs given up. Potentially looking to close this one down here, as if they can work their way through this one, it would indicate the run rule. Once again, thanks for tuning in here with us on Heart of Ohio Sports. We'll have more high school baseball for you tomorrow. We have Tiffin Columbian taking on Perkins, live from Tornado Field. 4:45 first pitch for that one. And A.J. Shoemaker rocks and fires. It's in there for a strike. And a swing and a miss as Jet Linton at the plate for Gibsonburg. That one misses. I don't have any stats on Jet. And strike 3 called. And that's the first out here in the top of the fifth.
Now batting, Ashton Sutter.
That'll bring up Dash Sutter. Swing and a miss. Actually, I think he might have foul tipped maybe, but Sutter not happy with himself after that swing. Going to recollect himself and take another hack at it here. Chokes up a little bit on the bat. And here's the pitch from Shoemaker. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch by A.J. Shoemaker. And a Gibsonburg potentially down to their final out here. That'll bring up Israel Lamone. Swing and a miss. Shoemaker out here throwing some filth now. That one in the dirt. 1-1 the count on Limon. Excellent job today by Austin Rodriguez on the camera, filling in on short notice. Swung on and hit foul into the on-deck circle. Almost a nice bare hand play there by Connor McKnight. Or Corey McKnight, sorry. That one misses low. 2-2 the count now on Limon. high. So it's now a full count. And that is going to be ball 4. So he was ahead of the hitter there, 1-2, but Limon with a nice job of working himself back into the at-bat and drawing a walk. So now that'll bring up Corey McKnight. Swing and a miss. McKnight out in front of that one. Shoemaker had him guessing. Two down, 12-1 Calvert. Top of the 5th. The pitch off the plate. And 1-1 the count now on McKnight. Give a shout out and a thank you to all of our sponsors here after this one. Make sure you stick around for the post-game show brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. We'll have our player of the game brought to you by MST Sauce Company. And that one gets away from the catcher and to the backstop as Limon scampers down to second base. So now the Golden Bears have a runner in scoring position here. 2-1 count on McKnight. And that one in the dirt in front of the plate. 3-1 the count. That one misses outside for a ball, so Golden Bears now at first and second with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Chuy Rodriguez. Righty-lefty matchup here. That one in there for a strike from Shoemaker. That one misses. Low. And Rodriguez hits that one foul down the left side, just foul. He missed that one by about a foot of that getting down and being some real trouble. It is now 1-2 on Rodriguez. That one high. 2-2 on Rodriguez now. That one low. 3-2 the count now. Shoemaker's had to battle here after cruising through the first 2 outs. Gave up a walk. and then another walk, and then now a third walk. So now we've had 3 straight walks by Shoemaker after he had 2 strikeouts to start the top of the inning. And we're going to get a mound visit here from Coach Matt Coleman, as he wants to talk to his guy and say, hey, come on, man, just settle in here. Bases are loaded. Take a moment and thank all of our sponsors. Thank you to Xcaret Mexican Restaurant and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, our presenting sponsors here today, as well as Clouse Electric, Feasel's Frame and Collision, MST Sauce Company, 5 Star Maintenance, Culligan Water, Seitz Financial Services, MJ Recruiters, and First National Bank of Sycamore. All proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Of course, if you want to get on board with us, folks, just send us an email, hoosbroadcasting@gmail.com. We are still accepting new sponsors, especially as the postseason approaches. So we're getting ready to start gearing up for postseason play next week. Putting our schedule together now. Keep your eyes peeled.
Now batting Nolan Hoover.
Nolan Hoover at the plate. Hoover, the shortstop here tonight, batting .510 on the season. He hits that one foul down the left side. Bases are loaded, 2 down, top of the 5th. The pitch from Shoemaker is high. And it's now 2-1 on Hoover. He's got nowhere to put him. So he's going to have to start throwing it around the strike zone. And Hoover fouls that one off to the right. Count even at 2-2 now. Hoover's kind of a do-it-all star for this Gibsonburg Golden Bear squad. 49 at-bats, 25 hits, 17 singles, 6 doubles, 2 triples, 27 runs scored. Strike 3 called, ball game. A.J. Shoemaker sits down Nolan Hoover, and that is the end of the ball game here as Tiffin Calvert closes it out. 12-1 is your final score. And A.J. Shoemaker sweating bullets there at the end, but he does put away the final batter for the final out. And we're going to step aside, take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the postgame show brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. We'll have our player of the game brought to you by MST Sauce Company. That's all coming to you next right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Five Star Maintenance, their mission is to exceed the expectations of their clients. If your commercial construction project needs immediate attention, their highly skilled team is ready to tackle even the most challenging jobs. Give them a call today at 419-443-0414. You're watching right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. All right, and we're back here. Back at Zalar Field. Nate Mullins on the call with you here today. Austin Rodriguez on the cameras, and my blue car stayed intact. Even though I parked it just a little too close, it still stayed intact. No dents, no bruises. We're good to go. And what a great game here today for the Tiffin Calvert Senecas squad as they put on a lot of runs in the second inning, put up a lot of damage in that second inning, but, that's kind of how they've been doing it all year long. This is a team that once they start rolling, they really kind of string together hits, and they have a habit of just kind of stacking those hits on top of each other. And it's just fun to watch if you're a Senecas fan. I mean, if you've been following this team for a while, especially this group, this younger group, especially the freshmen that are incoming this year, these kids have been playing ball all year for a long time. And I was talking with Coach Coleman, both of them, after the last game this past weekend, the strikeout for cancer game, actually last week when I was talking to them afterwards. And I was talking to them a little bit about, how fun is it to coach these guys? He says, we've been coaching them for a long time. They've been coaching them since they were young. And all these kids have been playing baseball for a really long time. And it shows. They've got a lot of chemistry. It was, it's really hard sometimes when you have a talented group of freshmen coming in with a solid group of seniors and upperclassmen and leadership that you already have established from a state semifinal run the year before. But you want to talk about a seamless transition. This squad, this club, has just been a lot of fun to watch this year. And I can't imagine how fun it is to coach these kids because, I mean, just watching them is a treat for me. So, once again, hats off to this Senecas squad as they are now 17-1. And I'm pretty sure this should secure the SBC River Championship for this squad as they are now 10-0 in league play after this win. But, I mean, impressive is an understatement for this squad for this season. The way they've been able to put up runs in bunches. And it's not it's not like they're out here hitting a bunch of long balls. They're stringing together timely hits. They're being patient at the plate. They have a very patient approach at the plate. And it's just it all comes down to plate discipline and just solid coaching. So, yeah, I'm very impressed with this squad. I'm excited to see where the postseason takes them as they await the winner, I believe. It is the Fremont St. Joe and Monroeville game, which will take place on the 16th, which is a week from today. So next Tuesday, Monroeville and Fremont St. Joe will do battle, and then the following Thursday, the winner of that game will take on Tiffin Calvert right here at Zalar Field in the sectional final. And then we'll get on to the districts, which will be played at Clyde. And, with this Tiffin Calvert squad, obviously you never know. You can't write anything in stone right now, obviously. But, man, it's looking like this squad could have a really deep postseason run. And it all starts next week, folks. So make sure you get your support. Make sure these Senecas know how much you support them. And, I mean, there's no better way to do that than getting on board with us here at Heart of Ohio Sports. We do have family support packages as well for all you Senecas faithful out there. You're watching. You want to know, how can I support you guys? I want you at every Senecas game. I want you to be there for this run, this special magical run. Well, we do have ways that you can get on board with us. We'll be posting those here shortly of how anyone and everyone can get on board with us, and they can show their support for not only the Senecas but also us with our broadcast endeavors and following them along the way. So once again, thank you for all tuning in with us here. We are live once again at Zalar Field for the post-game show brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Nate Mullins on the call with you here today, and we've had it's another great, beautiful day for baseball. And it's a shame it was over too soon because, I would have loved to sit here for a full 7 innings, but now I got a little extra time to do some fun stuff, So, without further ado, now I got to pick a player of the game? How? Everybody was the player of the game today. How am I supposed to pick? I can't. If I had, it'd be hard not to give it to Nick Palm every day. Every time these Senecas come up to bat, and every time these Senecas, come up here, Nick Palm's always having himself a heck of a ball game. So, obviously, I could give him a gift card every single time. But another young man stood out to me today, and that was Blake Coleman. Blake Coleman had himself a ball game with the way he pitched on the mound. He was dominant, only allowing the 1 run, striking out quite a few. I'm not sure. I don't have the exact totals in front of me, but he had himself a ball game here today, not only on the mound, but at the plate as well, showing a patient approach. So if I had to give anyone our MST Sauce Company player of the game, I think today it goes to Blake Coleman because, he shut down this Gibsonburg offense early and often. and kept them off the board and kept them from really making this a rough day for Tiffin Calvert, because, I mean, when you think about it, it could have been rough. If Gibsonburg gets out to an early lead, Calvert's not used to that. Maybe they get into a little bit of, pressure situation and they start stressing a little bit. They press a little bit, but that's not who they are. I'm telling you, folks, I've watched this team a lot. But, I'm impressed, very impressed with this squad, but I'm really impressed with Blake Coleman. So once again, that would be my player of the game for today. So that's going to do it, folks. For Austin Rodriguez, I'm Nate Mullins signing off from Zip Zalar Field. Once again here, 12-1 is your final score. Tiffin Calvert on top. And moving on, they are 17-1 and 10-0 on the season in league play. And as far as I'm concerned, that's pretty much clinching things for them. So once again, congratulations to the Senecas on a great game here today, and they will continue. They got a couple more games before they wrap up the regular season, but their postseason play starts next Thursday right here on the 18th. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that, and keep your eyes peeled for what we're going to be doing for the postseason, because we got a lot of plans, folks, and we'll be unrolling those in the next couple days. So once again, postseason baseball next week. We still got 2 more regular season games this week. Tiffin Columbian versus Perkins tomorrow, and then Tiffin Columbian, Seneca East on Friday. A couple of makeup games, and we are excited to bring those to you here on Heart of Ohio Sports. All right, that's going to do it. Have a great day, everybody. Get out there and enjoy yourself. It's way too beautiful to be inside right now. Have a good one.